question. What if?
I see Marvel has learned nothing from their titling mistakes in Captain America Civil War.
There was an idea to bring together a group of
remarkable people. I know, I've heard the speech.
If your characters are getting tired of the recaps and references, imagine how your audience must feel about them. Also, finishing someone else's sentence. People need to quit thinking that it's cute because it's not. It's just f***ing annoying for the initial person talking and anyone listening to the conversation. Letting your signature Iron Man scene be an homage to Iron Man 2. And I know that's the time frame of when all this is taking place, but what if there was no Iron Man 2?
Did I ever tell you about this one time I actually recruited a Russian assassin to join my American covert ops team?
Sounds like an interesting story. Certainly an idea worth exploring. Perhaps in a movie? Marvel should get right on that 10 years ago.
Then you should know I'm not afraid of a big swing.
I wish this show wasn't afraid of a big swing. Then we might get some storylines a little more interesting than, what if this character was replaced by this character?
Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to exit the donut.
Is Stark truly inside the donut, though? I mean, is the hole in a ring donut truly a part of its whole? Or is it simply the acknowledgement of an absence of donut? Was it ever truly whole to start with? Is it more or less whole with or without its hole? Damn it, Marvel, give us the answers we truly crave.
What'd you just do to me?
I'm pretty sure Romanoff just poked you without your explicit consent. Since you're about to die a horrible death, Stark, we'll take care of the sinning. Don't you worry.
I'm the Watcher.
Hold on. Are we getting treated to 2 narrated exposition dumps in the first 5 minutes? Jeffrey, right on.
This wasn't me.
I know that. But S.H.I.E.L.D. has protocols, so my hands, like yours, are tied.
Actually, I don't understand this at all. Romanoff will take the syringe to Dr. Ross and find out that the serum was never even injected into Stark. This should have been easily detected by S.H.I.E.L.D., CSI, or whatever they have, and should have resulted in further investigation into the matter. They are charging Romanoff with a crime and wiping their hands way too quickly. Glad real-life authorities never do that, right? Right?
Here, mind holding these for me?
Of course,
What? Even though the guard is only fooled by this for 1/19th of a second, he is still fooled by it for precisely 1/19th of a second too long.
I never did get what he sees in her. Sure, she can land a punch, but only because people don't expect it.
That's Black Widowist. It's always fun to watch Black Widow kick some ass, but once again, we have an action set piece with a large group of guards attacking the protagonist 1, maximum 2 at a time, instead of immediately overwhelming them with sheer superior numbers.
That doesn't sound ominous at all.
It's been happening all night. The artifact has a bit of an attitude.
Or maybe it's just a storm?
Also, no one can lift it. Not even Jackson. And he does CrossFit.
Do you mean Chris CrossFit Jackson? Do you know he's also vegan? And that he doesn't own a television? Great guy, super humble.
He's a Caucasian male, mid-20s, with really great hair.
Excuse me?
It's an accurate description.
No, it isn't. Yes, Chris Hemsworth is about as close to being objectively beautiful as is humanly or Asgardianly possible, but Fury is right to be outraged here. Great hair is not a remotely helpful or appropriate descriptor.
He's making a move on the hammer. One shot, one kill, sir. Just say the word.
Why go for a kill shot at all? Wasn't the idea to find out more about the hammer from whoever came to retrieve it?
I swear I didn't shoot.
Your arrow would indicate otherwise.
Nick Fury would be excellent at TVSins.
This doesn't make any sense. I don't slip. I don't misfire.
Vanity.
What's the word on our intruder?
Dead.
From an arrow? How did a damn arrow kill Thor? He's a god. The man was hit with a fucking neutron star, for crying out loud. An arrow? F off with your nonsense.
Even while rotting, he smells like lavender.
Really?
This sudden obsession with Thor's beauty and appealing olfactory presence is understandable, but slightly creepy. I don't remember anyone sniffing him the first time around. Maybe that's the real sin here.
Dr. Ross. Not sure if you remember me, but
I used to sound like Scarlett Johansson, and now I sound like Lake Bell doing an impersonation of Scarlett Johansson.
Well, your injector's clean, and there's no traces of lethal pathogens of any kind.
What the college medical clinic resident told me after my STD test somehow makes its way into this episode.
I got bad news and worse news. You in a secure location?
not currently.
Barton's dead.
What was the point of asking her if she was in a secure location if you're just going to go ahead with the damn news anyway? Also, if you're going to inform someone that their friend and colleague has just been murdered, maybe don't preface it with a quippy, "I've got bad news and worse news."
Go get him, boss.
Professional sideline cheerleaders.
You would do best to kneel before a god.
We don't really do that here. no matter who or what you are.
Unless you're the Queen of England, but other than that, no one. Well, other than the person you're proposing marriage to, but other than those two people, no one. Well, some people like to kneel in front of important statues. You know what, Fury? We actually kneel quite a bit.
I am Loki, Crown Prince of Asgard, the rightful king of Jotun.
This rings on for some time, and I have no idea why. I know it's played for comedy, but in reality, there's no reason to allow a phone to continue to ring over a clearly important conversation. If the intent is to pick up the call, then pick it up and excuse yourself, damn it. If you have no intention of picking it up, then decline the call. It takes a special kind of asshole to allow a phone to persistently ring in this hugely distracting manner. Excuse me for just a second. Hello? A multiverse of infinite diversity and innumerable outcomes, yet in this timeline, Banner still ends up in the exact same glass corridor at the exact same time Colonel Ross and his friends turn up.
What's in the box?
Such insolence will not be tolerated.
Insolence? Does what's in the box have an unfortunate translation in Asgardian? I mean, unless you're Oh.
But he can't die. He can't die. He can't.
He can.
We are not allies.
Then let me help you.
Fury? He just said you weren't allies. In case you confused it with Manassas. Wait, is this the only Manassas in the whole world? Then I guess there truly is no good reason to include the state in this subtitle.
I'm not telling you my password, Romanoff.
Why not?
Hashtag Steve, I heart Steve, 0704.
This is a perfectly fine password to use for personal accounts and such, but it's absolutely ludicrous that Coulson would use it for work as well. Yes, in theory, it should only ever be known by him, but I also know that Sheld's entire IT department would never be able to look Coulson in the eye.
Wow. Good one, Coulson.
What?
What does Coulson mean, what? His reluctance to share his password was at least partly because it was embarrassing as all hell, so why the surprise at Black Widow's understandable reaction? For some inexplicable reason, our mystery assailant, who has been doing a fantastic job of covertly taking out Earth's mightiest heroes, and Hawkeye, decides to switch to this very noisy and aggressive beatdown for Black Widow. Do they know the third act resolution is coming? Because they really shouldn't.
Fury, it's hope! It's all about hope!
I can't think of a single reason why Black Widow would choose to communicate this vital breakthrough in a way that is so vague and open to interpretation. She could have just as easily said Hope Van Dyne, and that would have been plenty enough for Fury to go on with no chance of it coming off as a vague platitude. But heaven forbid we're robbed of one last twist for the sake of believable decision-making.
If it isn't Hank Pym.
Hank has killed everyone else with a surprise attack, but for Fury, he walks up behind him as a normal-sized human so he can talk about his motive. That makes sense.
You took everything from me. I wanted you to hurt.
Wrath. In this montage of murder, you can see that Hank Pym was the projectile that hit Bruce back at the university, but at the time we were shown a scope moving around and taking aim at Banner, mistakenly leading us to believe it was one of Ross's trigger-happy soldiers. But if this was Pym all along, who shot the gun?
Good evening, my loyal subjects.
So with Earth's mightiest heroes, and Hawkeye, out of the way, Loki is free to rule humanity with little resistance. But why Earth? With Thor out of the way, couldn't he have taken over Asgard? Wasn't that always the plan?
I believe that in this universe, as in every other, hope never dies.
Except in this universe, she definitely did. Oh, we're back to being metaphorical. See? Easy mistake.
I am a god, you dull creature, and I will not be bullied by that.
Puny god.
I am the Watcher.
I'm gonna shoot some pictures, and you're going to process them.
There was an idea to bring together a group of...
This guy single-handedly ruined the word mother. Do you know how hard that is to do?
Then you should know I'm not afraid of a big swing.
Meryl, swing away.
So you like donuts, eh?
And you know what they call a quarter pounder with cheese in Paris?
They don't call it a quarter pounder with cheese?
They call it a Royale with cheese.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
Oh, Gil's in a lot of trouble.
Wow. Even while rotting, he smells like lavender.
And your father smelt of elderberries.
Which is why I have to ask, what's in the box?
What's in the box? Parkour! Michael, parkour! Parkour! Extreme!
You never cared about hope.
Hey, I didn't even know that, mother.